that's another thing with Mirage, especially because of the 3 channels that you have. You can, I would go on to say, you can have at least 3 AWPs if you're CT side and have one down.
To be fair.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you can do. You can have one mid, you can have one sitting in CT, and one in the B site. But the game has started. We're in the first pistol round, 1 minute 27 seconds in. Quicks, he's already fallen.
Yeah, unfortunately for him. Maybe a little bit of a fight over towards middle, it would appear. Dersiak, you know, again, a bit of a newer name coming onto this side. They do seem to have that solid roster for Prem, so maybe people were busy yesterday on the weekend. They've got a fair number of subs. And like we've said, very, very important games. They want to make sure that they can at least make it to playoffs at this point. We'll have to see, though. The early pick definitely works out for them. It allows them to play in towards an AXQ with a man advantage.
Only one smoke in their arsenal. Molly's going in. Here we see Connor running straight in, but Vanity is sitting on CT. He's going to pop out. Here's the bomb plant. Doesn't quite spot Connor as he gets the bomb down. One poke from Palace. And now the rotation comes in from Vexed.
Yeah, it's a little bit late maybe. Again, playing with a man down, it's pretty difficult. We rarely see it go into, you know, 9 players being alive and the bomb being planted. There's hardly any damage.
Complete control of that site.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, a couple of kills do come flying in for the CT side, but again, like you say, that control is still lacking. Pith with a nice little headshot does immediately get traded, however, and that bomb is ticking away. Vanity does have a hit. Oh, Whisk saving Connor there, but Boaster drops Vanity, unfortunately, and I think that's pretty much going to be it. There's no time for Whisk. He can't get his hands onto the kit. And the final headshot as well from Boaster to just put salt in the wound. He falls to the bomb. So after just 1 kill for about a minute and a half, there was a flurry of frags towards the end there. But WEHAWT ultimately with that initial control, because Vex playing a bit more of a retake setup. When you lose a man, it's not going to work. You know, you're a man down. It's very, very difficult playing that kind of a setup when you don't get any more initial frags. It's hard to get back into the round. WEHAWT just playing their advantage perfectly. Well,
it was interesting to see already the methodical gameplay coming out by Vex straight off the bat, waiting for everyone to get in their positions and try and retake together, rather than going one-man army, Rambo style, trying to get those frags. And they nearly just about did it. They nearly just about did it. But unfortunately, the bomb was planted for Connector as the smoke gets thrown out. Quicks here to meet WEHAWT on short. This comes on the corner. It's going to be Derriak. Gets 1 kill, but he gets taken down by Pith as he comes around the corner and gets refragged by Carcass. And now you've got Whisk and Vanity left in the 2v3.
Yeah, the bomb kind of out in no man's land. This is certainly interesting from the CT side. I suppose we'll talk about it after this. Vanity with a nice little 1D. Gonna bench as well. Very hard to get the refrag from that position. He's kind of pushing up a little bit more, getting into the face of the CTs. Rotation's starting to come in now as well. He picks up another kill on towards Carcass. That leaves Boaster all by himself. One of the stars of this team, certainly. Both online and in the offline sense. A lot of damage on towards Vanity. Not quite able to pick up the kill, and that might just be the difference maker. You know, he does have the bomb. He spots both of them out towards B, however, so he has that information to work with. They have clocked on to the fact that he could be rotating towards A.
Yeah.
So at the very least going to get this bomb down, but the question still remains, you know, is he going to be able to win this clutch out?
UMP in hand, bomb planted. He's already got 2 kills, 0 deaths. You're trying to keep that KD looking good, but Whisk with the AK-47 in hand definitely has the firepower advantage. As they're coming in for the retake. Flashbang and grenade. And the Hound of Vanity. The grenade goes straight into Firebox and finds Boaster and takes him out. A good read there.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he just stared at it, accepting his fate. There's nothing
straight into the face.
Yeah, indeed. Just hoping for a little bit of the old CSGO RNG on the HE nades. Maybe it would have saved him, but it went off right in his face. Yeah, a little bit of a shame. But they at least get the bomb down. But like I say, with the recent economic changes, we're not really expecting Vex to buy up there. Like from an analyst kind of standpoint, a caster standpoint, and also from the playing standpoint, it has become very quickly the norm that you lose the pistol, you eco one, and then you pull out the rifles a round earlier than you used to be able to. But they decide to go for a bit of a force-up. You know, they got a fair few frags in the pistols, so they've got a little bit of money built up. And it catches WEHAWT off guard completely, and before they know it, you know, especially the D play coming in from Vanity, they find themselves at a pretty heavy deficit, so it's very well played from Vex. Surprise force buy.
It's one of those things that the new economy change has kind of allowed players to do, is force buy a lot better in that second round. You can actually get a good SMG, potentially head armor, and full nades, depending how many kills you got on the first half.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
if you're terrorists and you get the bomb down and still lose. If you eco the next round, and still lose with the bomb down, you can straight up buy 2 AWPs.
Yeah, for sure.
Straight up. So it has made a massive meta change. A lot of the players are still adjusting to it. You can see that they'd rather just play to the old style where they lose eco, and then do a full buy. But it really does open up doors for different sort of strats, as Vanity finds Connor as he comes around through action, and so does Boaster, and this Vexed complete hold on A site stays alive.
Yeah, pretty clean stuff from them, honestly. WEHAWT looking a little bit lost. This is where that sort of, you know, these guys, to be fair, especially Boaster, Carcass, Nico, a little bit of a core, I would say, on this WEHAWT side type thing, but still lacking a little bit of that coordination, the deeper strategy, just trying to work off of, you know, someone finding a nice little 2K or something like that to open up a site. It doesn't really work out, and they get a little bit demolished there, only losing one player on the Vexed side, going to start to build up their economy pretty solidly, and at the same time, they force WEHAWT onto just a weak pistol buy here.
Vanity picking up yet another grenade kill as Carcass finds Vanity and Deriak on Aussie. Deriak actually gets the M4 and takes up Pierce, looks for another one, but it gets taken down by Quicks. And now it's just down to Carcass, who's in mid. And it's a 1 versus 2. As the Wisp comes in through connector, he actually finds the head of Carcass, and now he's on 7 HP. As he's the last remaining member. Boaster has bomb in hand. Only P250 though, but this is very much doable now with the amount of damage that Whisk has taken.
Yeah, I mean, if they spot each other here, it's pretty much going to need a clean headshot from Whisk or some kind of a positional advantage, you know, a shot to the back type deal. A little bit of an awkward spray for him. I mean, already in a difficult situation, it makes it kind of harder for himself. But yeah, again, this is kind of sloppy and certainly not what you would expect. This is where your coordinated teams pull ahead. You've got an anti-eco situation. You should definitely know how to win these cleanly, and the accumulator rounds, as they're called. But we'll see. Maybe Wix can save the day.
Okay, this Boaster's actually found himself a weapon as well, and the bomb is definitely planted. And Whisk knows this. It's planted for... Wow. The call of that area has just completely gone out of my mind.
Catwalk.
Catwalk, that's it. It's planted for Catwalk. He knows where it is. He throws the molly. There wasn't a reaction, and he looks away at the very last second as Connor comes around the corner. And, Boaster comes around the corner and takes the round out of the clutches of Vexed. And they've tied things up 2-2. It's
something that you have to consider, right? It's the same with smokes. A lot of players forget that it's not a brick wall. You know, it's just kind of there. It's not... Even the Molotovs, you know, are not going to instantly kill a player who's on full HP. Certainly, maybe it's a little bit ballsy from Boaster, but he knows that he's low, got that information from his teammate, and the fact that the bomb is so far ticked along, he kind of has to go for the peak, because there may well have been the hold coming in there from Whisk. Trying to get a bit aggressive up middle. Unfortunately, it does not work out. They're going to take him down quite easily. That's another opening pick for the T side. They're trying to compensate over towards ramp. Boaster seems ready for it. There's 2 players here. There's actually 2 on the T side as well. Connor picks up that first kill. Boaster trying to get the follow-up. Aussie pretty lucky to escape just for a second, but doesn't really prolong his life. And my goodness, Boaster and Connor have just demolished that A site and leaving Pith all by himself here.
Yeah, that push was a bit too aggressive, and it definitely did not work in their favor. Nikodos found himself an AWP as well. Be taking that, but look at the minimap. You've got the entire of WEHAWT completely surrounded on that site, and Pith, MP5 in hand, not much you can do. If Deriak actually walks around the corner and is not aware where Pith is, that's 1 kill, and that might just be enough for him to upgrade his gun. But he should know that there are 3 players at the very least, that are low, and with the MP5, it's very much doable to get those 3 kills. And Nikodos actually messes with the AWP. He finds the AWP, the person that was on 100 HP and the biggest weapon that you can get. And he's not going to be able to pick it up. He is going to die. But the AWP is going to be lost. Unless Deriak gets the AWP from it flying. Nope, the bomb doesn't even explode for the round to end. So very big damage done to the economy right there, right at the end.
Yeah, to be fair, it's kind of a bit of a saving grace type situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult to say what kind of an effect it will have greatly. If you'd have been able to save it, then, you know, there's a possibility in this round a bit of an aggressive AWP play could have worked out. But yeah, not so sure about that one from Vexed. I like the aggression up middle, but not alone from Vexed. Maybe not communicating it to his teammates that he wanted someone to come with him. And then I like the aggression towards ramp, but it was a bit of a dry push. There was no flashes or anything like that, and it just didn't really work out for them. Connor got a bit of an opportunity to pad the stats here, only able to get 2, and then dropping that AK. Should be aware of the fact that yeah, indeed. Pretty heavily over towards middle though, so I think they should be able to clean this one up relatively easily. Nice enough, almost the team ace, but of course Connor had to be a bit greedy and get 2, didn't it? So, but WEHAWT, that's a clean anti-eco from them, and they start to build up their economy, which is pretty scary on that T side, of course.
Now, Vexed looking to buy up. No head armor though. Not much need for it when you're up against AK-47s when it will be one-shot headshot.
Indeed.
And an AWP. AWP on Connor now. Let's see where he opts to take that. Going straight down, Deriak. Down middle. The molly goes down, and the flashbang jumps over the shots. Nothing connects though. He does lose some HP, 78 now on him.
Still relatively healthy. Seems to be a bit of an A execute coming in though, to be fair. This is quite a solid one. A lot of teams do forget about that Molotov, but the spray's coming down from these site holders. Pretty nice little crossfire that the CTs have got going. Wisp picking up a myriad of kills, almost a 1-on-2 does there.
That was Connor that he picked up. He was just running at him with a pistol.
Yeah,
an AWP in the hand.
I don't know, he's not so confident with it, I guess. I'm not really sure, but Whisk, importantly there, plays time for the rest of the CTs, obviously drops that bomb as well and allows for the rotations to come in because he survives for so long. The T's, unfortunately, not really able to readjust and get the refrags. Pretty nasty dink onto to Nico, bit of a shame he didn't convert it. It would have been a nice clip from Whisk, but a clean little round coming in from Vexed as Deriak caught off in towards middle, unfortunately. Not really able to find anything towards the end of Vexed. Stop it from running out of control. I think if they'd have lost that one, you know, again, being on that CT side, sure, it's near max loss bonus, but don't have a great deal of money to play with. They probably would have had to eco again and WEHAWT get up to, you know, 5-6 rounds. That early on, it does start to look a little bit scary. So quite an important round. One of the key swing rounds, I suppose you call them.
Oh, Carcass missing the first shot of the AWP down mid by a fraction of an inch, but Quicksteed does not miss. He's going to flashbang and get out of there. Another player is pushing him. It is Boaster, just around the corner. Whether the push is still going to come on, you can see the bomb. It's going through T-Apps. Connor's already holding it. It's Pith and Quicks defending B site by themselves. The rest of the T's are sitting on A. Vanity takes some damage. Niku does. He's pushing onto A site, trying to make an opening, see if the rotation can come out from the rest of his team from WEHAWT. But Whisk and Aussie just sitting silently, minding their own business, waiting for any aggression to come in. And it might be a little bit of a bait.
I'm not so sure what they're trying to go for at this point. I think probably going to try and play up connector, and then not going to realise that Nicolas is pushed in so aggressive, and he's just, yeah, he's going to try and creep around and catch him off guard. Little do they know that there's 2 actually in towards that dark position. This could really work out. Whisk has got a pretty big opportunity. Sprays straight away. Just managed to pick up the first kill. Not quite the second, but it's a fair amount of damage. Brings it back into the 2-on-2. And he's shot hit by Quicks there, but traded immediately by Carcass. His kills all over the shop right now. Pith, once again, though, coming in from an angle that maybe is not so expected. Carcass goes for the fake, looking towards CT. Surely he spots out the head. He does indeed. Pith, though, not great trigger discipline. Goes straight for the spray. Can't really land it. And now Carcass is going to know exactly where he is, but peeking around the wrong side. And a clean headshot from Pith comes in, of course.
That was vital. Nikudos had to completely clear out under wood. And just by not doing so, the bomb got dropped, and that lost so much valuable time and gave Vex the opportunity to make their rotations in and defend the site. And a very, very good hold coming in there by Quicks as well with the AWP. Crucial kills to hold that. And Vex, with that win, draw up the game in round 9. Forcing WEHAWT onto yet another eco, apart from Deriak, who's bought himself an AK. Quicks being very aggressive in under.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe a little bit of miscommunication, or maybe it's just sort of what we've seen as like a classic CIS kind of force buy, where it's like, oh, I can get an AK, so I'll get an AK, the rest of you eco. But, you know, it works like an AWP being saved type thing, where everybody else just goes down on towards the pistols. But I feel, looking at his economy, it's probably a little bit of a misbuy. More of, I can buy an AK, so I'm going to do it immediately.
Quicks.
Or
And he knows the bomb is here as well, so that's good information coming to the team. He's going to get him down. That's Nikodo's done, and then he's pushing up behind the rest of them. And Quicks, he's already on 4 kills. He's looking for the 8th, and he gets killed right at the end there. But he's done so much work this round for the entire team. 50 seconds remaining, and Carcass, he's like, where did everyone else go? It's my team.
Yeah. Got free AK, though, to be fair, off of one of his fallen comrades. But yeah, Quick's earning a lot of money as well on that MP5. Vanity, unfortunately, just straight into the crosshair there for Carcass, an easy shot. But yeah, the MP5, of course, with that $600 kill bonus, as you can see, he's boosted up quite a bit. 6.4k, you can get a pretty solid buy, and they may well be talking about the possibility of a double upset, the fact that he doesn't immediately buy up, and there you go, it comes straight out. Crystal ball proves useful for myself, but yeah, it's something they've not pulled out yet. It's going to be another factor that WEHAWT have got to deal with, and Vanity already performing pretty well on that AWP. Another one in the mix is really going to be a thorn in the side of his team's side. But what is that? Wiz just sort of walking across ramp. Never really ideal, and Aussie perhaps a little bit tilted. Maybe they were going to go for that double dark setup yet again.
Vanity. Little open up challenge, but it's going to be Nikodos that finds his head, but Aussie is going to stop the push just short there. The smoke does go down, going to bait the ladder sound, and then going to push through the smoke. This is ingenious play. He pushes around, he gets taken out by Carcass. I knew exactly what was up, and Carcass going to run round. They've opened the bomb site. Pith jumping up on that smoke, just hiding. The bomb does go down. WEHAWT have been stopped yet again on their take, and whether or not Pith, he's just going to hold back and steady. Quicks, not quick enough. Misses 2 shots. Pith, though, on the return. He's helping.
Yeah, playing off that contact play for sure, and once again dropping the bomb, just making things really awkward for WEHAWT at this point. Boaster on 12 HP, not really ideal, this information being communicated. Quicks has got his USP out, trying to spam through the smoke. Unfortunately, not quite landing it. Boaster going to go on the reload, but not quite fast enough. Quicks this time was a bit faster to the draw, and they will manage to save the double orbs. It is a fairly costly round for Vex, you know, only surviving with 2, never really ideal. As you can see, they buy up into this round, and everybody pretty much in the coffers, not very much remaining if they lose this one, but it's going to be a pretty solid kind of quasi-buy situation for WEHAWT. They seem to have hit a little bit of a brick wall in recent rounds, not as consistent as they were earlier in the time.
Vanity just going for a mad jump down mid. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, he just survives. Aussie is the one to fall to the deagle to the head. Now, I was going to say something that you did mention, WEHAWT, they aren't playing with a complete same roster as they were playing with yesterday, and I've seen in the past 3 rounds that the AWP has changed from it's been Boast, it's been Connor, it's been Nikodos, it's been Carcass. It has just continuously been changing at the start of every round that they managed to buy one up. So they're still trying to find their foot in this game. By the looks of it, and but
this is not good.
Deriak finds another one, gets the 3rd as well. Sorry, he gets the 2nd one. But that's 3 players down for Vexed, as Carcass just manages to miss his player jumping out of window. Whisk and Vanity need to retake the site. WEHAWT have actually got the bomb down as well. Carcass holding mid as he spots up a player. There's another one, but he gets taken down straight away. Now, Whisk and Vanity looking to save AWP and the M4. Deriak, he's actually managed to find himself in salvage and AWP as well. Nikodos and Boaster unable to find any weapons, but I don't think they need any weapons. They've only got those deagles, and they've been doing so well with it. But Deriak finds Whisk right at the end of the round. But can you find Vanity? Can you take the AWP off the hands of Vexed? That's the important one.
Yeah, this is where it becomes a little bit of a mess, though. You know, they try and go for that save because of the 1 round previous to this one by them. They only survived with 2. They don't really have a great deal of money, so they have to give that round up. And it's a huge blunder from Vex, honestly. I was getting already in my mind to be like, right, WEHAWT, you go mid with no utility. It's very, very difficult to gain mid control, but I suppose, you know, if you can hit some sick 1Ds, then it's going to be pretty easy, isn't it? But yeah, Vex should 100% have that most of the time, especially with sending the AWP towards middle. It gives them a lot more opportunity, a lot more control. They've got utility of their own to play with. It just seemed they may be jumping the gun a little bit too early in that round, and it cost them dearly.
Another thing costing them dearly. Quicks manages to push down mid, gets the kill, but gets traded up straight away. Was it all worth it as Whisk finds Nikodos, but Aussie fell not before that. 3 versus 3. As the smoke's go down catwalk, and WEHAWT look on to pushing towards B. As Pith is coming up behind them with a deagle in his hand. Whisk managing to find himself an AK-47 as well. More than enough that can be done. Connor holding kitchen. As it's going to be Vanity just coming in around the corner. Pith is going to come round, but Deriak is there to meet him onto catwalk. The orb comes in from Vanity. He is a monster at the moment. Now it's down to Deriak. The flashbang is going to stop him. He has to hide back around the corner. The mollies. Going to let them know that no one is. Bench. Boaster's deep on site. Meanwhile, Deriak holding short. And the grenade is going to smoke it up, and the perfect timing there by Vanity as well. And now Boaster's left, the last one left on the site as well as Vanity. 5 HP though, but it's going to be Boaster that finds him and completely executes him.
Yeah, that's just kind of the man disadvantage, unfortunately, for Vexed initially going into that retake. Is really well played from them, you know, using Whisk as the bait for the orb and Vanity with a great shot. But Boaster ultimately wins that round for WEHAWT. He performs perfectly, you know, peeks out at the correct time on the contact, not solidly baiting in a 2 versus 1, which wouldn't be a great idea, but he gets the immediate trade onto Whisk, and then obviously Vanity being on low HP and still a little bit unaware of where Boaster is playing from, allows him to easily take him down. But bit of a shame, especially over towards short. I think it was Nico kind of holding that angle. It's one of those tilting angles where he's in a bit of an off angle and you walk around the corner and it's like, you just sort of say to yourself, like, what is he doing there? It's just a really annoying kind of play that he goes for. A bit risky, but it works out, you know? So...
Oh, no, Connor. Oh, the Zeus doesn't come out on top there as Pith falls to Connor. Nico finds Whisk. Vanity finds Nico in return. Connor 1v1ing on site, comes out on top there against Quicks. And now Vanity, last one left for the CTs. He's found himself in the T spawn as Boaster's coming up behind him. He actually finds Carcass. That's going to let him get back onto a site. Another 2 players, one on steps. It's going to be Deriak. Going to find his foot, looking at his head. This is a hard angle as 2 players take him down.
Yeah, peeking straight into him. To be fair, though, decent damage done.
He got 3 kills as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, built up a little bit of money for himself. So keeping the economy modest on at least a couple of players on the WEHAWT side. As we get closer to that second half mark, you know, it's not really a huge deal for the T side at this point. It is more a case of Vex needing to get a few more rounds on the board. Mirage again, you know, classically CT sided, structurally CT sided, but a decent T side, and again with how familiar teams have become with this map over the years, can really come out on top as well. And we are seeing pretty competitive so far, which is always nice to see. First game of the evening. Yeah. Complete
14
whitewash.
rounds in, 6-7. Yeah. Fairly close. Connor just peeking round mid, looking to see if he can get a frag down connector as Deriak. He's coming in as well, but it's going to be Vanity. Finds the head of Nico. Don't want to peek out right there, Deriak. Oh, the smoke just working in the favor there of the head. And it's going to be Pith. He actually finds Connor and Ozzy. Finds Deriak as well, so they've got complete mid control. That stopped WEHAWT in whatever plans that they were having. But Boaster and Carcass making their way onto B site, and they have it. Just need to get the bomb down.
Should be able to easily do that. They'll not be too worried to allow that to happen at this point. Vex just want to get the rounds on the board and get that kind of 1-round lead is their best hope going into the second half. 4 on 2, this should, in theory, be winnable for them, but what a headshot coming in from Carcass. He does get taken down through the bench. Boaster now in the 1 on 3, picks up the first 2, and the third Boaster gets it done. How have they allowed that to happen on the Vex side? Just 3 frags in a matter of 3 seconds, not even that. Goodness me.
He's definitely got something to boast about now.
Yeah.
As WEHAWT completely pull away. 2-round difference. We've only seen about 1-round difference as we were going round by round, but coming into the last round, can WEHAWT get another one for the next half? Vanity, just checking out mid, no one's there. He's good. Yeah. Gone down to below, Carcass, peeking him. No idea whether someone's going to be there, but he peeks around the corner. Carcass gets tagged up, 20 HP. Gonna fall back.
Yeah, leaves Vex on such a weak buy after that previous round as well. It was a pretty important one for them if they wanted to keep it competitive going into the second half, but now WEHAWT are going to have, again, with the recent economic changes, it's a bit of a bigger lead than what it used to be. So this is kind of a little bit scary for Vex. They maybe need to pull something out of the bag in this round with a bit of a mixed, broken by, you know, FAMAS is the best weapon to write home about, so it's not really ideal for them. But Yeah, the fact that they let that 4-on-2 just slip away, especially, I mean, I say 4-on-2, it's 1-on-3, right?
Well, yeah, Carcass got the initial frag, got refragged straight from it, and Boaster just sitting behind the pillar on short. 1, 2, 3, easy as peasy.
Yeah.
Just like that. And now you can see WEHAWT. They know they've got the advantage, they've got the economic advantage, they've got the weapon advantage, so they're just playing this very methodically and they're waiting. They're waiting for any sort of nades or smokes that Vexed do have to go out, but now we can see the full execute coming in. Ozzy finds Carcass, finds Connor as well. Deriak's coming through. Ozzy finds Deriak as well, and Whisk finds Nicodo. So this push, this execute has just completely fallen flat against the eco of Vexed.
Yeah, they moved the double dark setup slightly closer to ramp there. And it really pays dividends. Yeah, great little meat grinder, I suppose we'll call it, coming in from Vex towards the end. And that was the one thing they needed to pull out of the bag. They certainly did so they at least keep it within one round, at least keep it competitive. There was possibly a time in the first half it could have been a bit better than this, but you make the best out of a bad situation, I suppose, and the pistol now carries a lot more weight. Of
course. Well, that was the best that they could do out of that bad situation. Not having any utility, not having the better weapons. You are up against an open hell of a load of AK-47s. And being able to take 3 people out like that, the way Ozzy did, 2 from ramp, clearing out a ramp, and then jumping up onto Palace and making sure that no one was peeking out Palace, just coming out on top there. And that's why I think Vex is one of the best UKCS teams that exists at the moment. But WEHAWT, they aren't that far ahead, right? Nor are they that far behind. They're not lagging extremely behind, nor are they pulling away from Vex. They are taking them a run for their money. So at the moment, it's safe to say it is anyone's game. And just like you said, that first pistol round, that will kind of dictate how this half starts.
Yeah, for sure. And it does look like, there we go, the beautiful green text coming in.
Match is live.
Indeed. So going to be getting straight back into the action. Obviously, I think they have about a minute or so of half-time break to talk things over, and with it being as competitive as it is right here, obviously they're going to want to do that conventional setup from the CTs, Boaster on the kit and the smoke. However, we've got Vex with something a little bit different. They've also already used the smoke that they picked up. So this is certainly interesting to see, maybe something that they've worked on and now want to pull out when this pistol round is so very important to get on the board.
It's good to see 3 players from WEHAWT flashed as they just run straight down mid, and Catwalk is going to be Carcass to greet them with the USP in his hand. Deriak lets 2 people pass. He actually gets taken down by Whisk as well. Pith finds the site, and now, just like that, Vexed have complete control of the B bomb site. Boaster, though, dodges that flashbang. Spots one. Connor finds him. Boaster jumping through the window. He's making way onto the site. Quakes not hitting a lot of shots by the looks of it. He's trying to find, and he does. He finds Pith, Vanity, and Quicks. Connor and Boaster go down from them. Nico, what on earth? Finds Quicks. Now he's down to a 1 versus 1. Very equal. 1 smoke in hand of Nico. But Vanity just need to play this for the time.
Oh, and he just peeks out at the right time as well. Nico looking completely the wrong way there, yeah. A little bit of a shame. WEHAWT, great little setup. But Deriak just chokes it, in all honesty. You know, and he was in 2 minds. He sort of let them walk past, tried to rattle off a few shots, missed them, was like, oh, they've not noticed me because I've got a silenced pistol, but then they actually did, and he was just a little bit flustered, it seems, on the balcony there.
It's one of those things, but if you're playing in that position first round, you should take the risk of, oh, they might not see me, but because you're that up close, you might as well buy a CZ rather than armor.
That is very true.
Right, if you had a CZ, the USP is extremely good at one-popping heads, and especially at range and that. But you're playing up on balcony, where 2 or more CTs are going to be running at you through there. They might not see you, they might see you, but the CZ, the high fire rate for pistols, that will ensure that you try and come out on top, you know, more than 50% of the time. But it's going to be Deriak and Nico falling first for WEHAWT, as Vexed slowly make their way onto the site. And Carcass coming up behind, finds the head of Ozzy, knows there's a second, and he gets Quicks as well. And just like that, we're on the 3 versus 3, but not for long as Boaster falls. And the remaining members of Vex just make their way onto the site as Pith finds Carcass. And the bomb goes down. Connor on a 1 versus 3. Retake?
I guess. I mean...
What's the harm?
Yeah, might as well. But it's kind of expected, not all that much bought up. Carcass got a fair few kills with the pistol. can afford a P250. Kind of pays for itself, you know. He gets the 2 kills and costs 300. He doubles his money essentially. So pretty well done from him, making things once again, you know, keeping the economy modest. And as we can see, because of the nature again of the economic changes, I think eventually we'll start to just talk about it like the norm. But for the first, you know, sort of month or so. But they've spent all their money on rifles and things, so they don't have a great deal to play with in the back pocket. So Aussie and Quicks are going to be on a relatively tight buy coming into this first rifle round here. And Nico's able to afford an AWP. I mean, Carcass could as well. I mean, even Connor if they want to go for some kind of setup based around it. But they're just going to go for the one. Again, we are seeing a bit of a difficult call on who's actually going to have the AWP on the WEHAWT side. And like I said, on the weekend, they really did like the double up setup when it was Mirage, but it was very close. I think it was 16-14 against Fierce, so it was never really ideal. Ooh, Dircy out there. He pushes up middle pretty aggressively. That's how you do it, boys. Vex tried to do it a few rounds, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them. Nico takes down Pith. This is falling apart for Vex. They're getting absolutely demolished. It's just Quicks remaining. You know, 1-on-5. He's got to try and get something done. I mean, he's got the bomb. That's one thing going for him, but they seem vaguely aware of where he's at. Oh, gets spotted out, but Nico not quite able to land the full shot. Gets the tag, but that makes it super easy for Boaster to pick him up. Not losing a single player. WEHAWT with a flawless first rifle round.
Yeah, very crucial rifle round for them. Managing to come out on top there. They get themselves an AWP as well. Nico really shining with the AWP once he's got it on his hands. Now Vexed, yet again, round 19, we're 9 for 9. We are even and we're drawn up. And they're in a bit of a scuff by as well, as Nico's going for an extremely aggressive play down mid, jumping straight to the mid window and holding it from Catwalk. And now by the looks of it, we're going to see a mini execute coming out by Vexed onto B. As the smokers there just want to wait. They've just gone away. The flashbang does go through. Connor spots one. Unfortunately, he sprays down. Gets Aussie with the last bullet, but it's going to be Pith taking him down. Carcass to meet them as well. Just doesn't spot out where Quicks is and gets taken down.
Yeah, a little bit of a nice execute here over towards B, and really does work out. Those 2 players coming in from short as well. Bit of a unfortunate read from WEHAWT. They try and go for the heavy short push and on the retake, and unfortunately they're smoked out, you know, 2 times in a row here, possibly even a third as well. So severely locked out of the site, unfortunately. And Quicks up close and personal does get spotted out though by Boaster. Was open to that market window. This now opens things up, but Pith and Vanity just rip them apart. See you later, boys. There was a bit of a chance there. A flurry of frags coming in, quite hard to keep up with, but
well, Pith was the last one remaining, so it was just refrag after refrag.
Yeah, indeed.
For going in, but Vexed, they do pull ahead. 10 points on the board, and they're broken into double digits here on round 20. But everything's in reverse now. You can see WEHAWT, they're on the pistol buy, they're on the eco.
Kind of hard reset a little bit. But they built up a little bit of money with the round, so they did win. The flawless rifle round certainly helps. So they're just going to have to eco the one here. Possibly could have put together a risky force buy, but I do like this from WEHAWT. It's a little bit more well thought out. Nice smoke in from middle to come in towards short, of course. And they're going to go for this B hit once again. Oh, Connor on the Deke. He's not shown himself yet. He tries to take down both, but can only find one. There's so much damage on towards Whisk, though. So there's definitely an opportunity for a few more frags to be picked up. And having only lost 1 player, I don't know, I kind of see this maybe a little bit doable, at least to do some damage from WEHAWT here. Maybe not take the round, because he's got no utility and, you know, no armor and things like that. But
oof, Vanity falls to 3 HP as well, as Boaster just run through the straight onto the site. Aussie takes him down. Whisk finds Carcass as well. But Dersiaki's coming in, but it's going to be Pith on the backside. Coming in for a backstab. Now it's all down to Nico. It's very much doable. 1 player on 100 HP, 1 on 3 and 1 on 15. It's a bit of a scary situation, but Nico does not have a kit. He's going to look to try and get the frags. He actually tags up Pith. Takes him down to 22 HP, but doesn't secure the kill. And Vexed, they're going to run away from the site as well as the round.
Indeed. I mean, pretty smart play. Just the little things that can really help out. You know, if he'd have been able to retrieve an AK there, the one-tap potential definitely can make a difference. But Pith was smart enough to be like, I know he's lurking around. I know he wants to try and get one of those weapons, and I'm just going to make sure he doesn't. You know, I'm putting salt in the wound for sure. We'll see another rifle round coming in. The mid-aggression once again from WEHAWT. This time there's not going to be anyone there from the T side, but they quickly notice that, and now back into a bit of a 4-man A setup, immediately speaking, it might work out for them. It does seem they're shaping up a bit of an execute. Let's see that with a clean 2-tap of the M4 onto Quicks. Takes down that first man. So his retake setup might just work out. Nice spray coming in from Boaster as well. And sure, the smokes are in the right place, but unfortunately the frags as yet not coming through. Vanity the only one to have picked one up for the T side here. Everybody else kind of fallen down. This is going to need a pretty crazy individual play. That's what Vanity tries to go for, but not really able to find it. Aussie gets control over towards CT, but is that going to be enough?
He's not going to be expecting Carcass. Yeah, he's not going to be expecting Carcass sitting in T ramp, and Carcass is the one that gets the kill. Finishes that streak of Vexed. And they kind of built up they've kind of built themselves up in economy as well to kind of get some weapons. What can they do? They can buy an AWP, full armor, as well as some salvage some AKs from previous rounds, and get full nades. But once again, both of the teams looking at their money, they're not doing that well. It's a hard reset for whichever team loses this round next.
For sure. Still all to play for. Neck and neck at this point. So, again, one of those key swing rounds coming into it. WEHAWT need to get this one on the board cleanly. That's a nice start, I suppose. Bit of damage on towards a couple players. I think a little bit of information and well. Carcass up from short, Dersiak in from connector, cleanly held by the CTs in towards middle again. Talked about this when WEHAWT did it. Taking mid control with no utility is very, very, very difficult and often, you know, kind of advised against. They go for a bit of a fake over towards A and try and split up connector. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them. That's a shame for Dersiak. He's not able to land that one, actually.
Oh, they're lining up for Boaster as Aussie finds Dersiak. Carcass comes in, stops Pith from peeking out of Palace. But Boaster's been holding this position. Carcass is going to be the one that takes Vanity down. Now you're just down to Aussie. Last one remaining, 22 HP, AK in hand with the bomb. But Connor coming up behind. And this time, Aussie, he's aware that there could be a CT coming in. But that play right there, Aussie finds the head of Carcass, but Connor, he's not going to make the push. He's going to wait and he's going to bait it out. He's going to play the mind games with Aussie and let him know that, okay, maybe you can rotate out there. No one is pushing you, while the rest, Nico and Boaster are holding the site. And he walks straight into the crosshairs of Connor.
Yeah, it works pretty perfectly in the end. Once again, onto even footing here, so very difficult to call at this point, in all honesty. But like you said, it was a pretty important round, economically speaking. Vex now pretty much going to have nothing bought up here, just a Deagle and 2 P250s, which is not a great deal at all. And they're going to go for this mid control with no utility. Yet again, you know, we'll see if it works out. If the D can hit some nasty shots, then maybe it will. They're going for a bit of a run boost? No, I think they're just going to go straight out. They
just pushed out mid as Nico looked around the corner, and Dersiak, he's not actually prepared, but it doesn't matter. He gets 2 headshots off the bat. Carcass finds Vanity as well. Aussie taking down Boaster, but Dersiak finds himself a 3rd as well. And WEHAWT save that round, and they take the lead now, 12 or 11.
I mean, that is kind of 100%, you know, a bit of a miscommunication. Very well timed. By Vex.
I don't have my gun in my hand.
Yeah,
wait,
sure.
Give me a second.
For sure, I think, I want to say, was it Nico in the middle with the AWP?
Yeah.
Didn't really mention the fact that, oh, I've stopped watching mid, by the way, be aware. And Vex just sprint down in that small window of opportunity, pick up a fair few frags, but I think with the fact, you know, the superior weaponry that WEHAWT had there, it should ultimately, I'd say, like 95% of the time go their way, even if they do lose a few players here and there. Here we go, though. Another retake setup coming in from the CT side. A little bit more predictable this time. They just go out dry and get control of the A site. This now allows them to use their utility a little bit later on the Vex side. They've already got the man advantage. It's going to be pretty difficult for the CTs to get back in here. And as you can see, call to save comes in. I think they should pretty much be able to get away with this one. I'm not sure. They're going to hunt pretty hard on the Vex side. So they will also want to keep as many players alive as possible. But once again, back into even footing.
Still
with all 3, it looks good. Yeah, for sure.
Through and through, both these teams not giving up, not letting the other team get any more than an inch away from them, and still managing to bring it back. Round after round, Vexed getting themselves another point on the board.
See what they decide to do with things on the CT end. because there's not a great deal of money for the other two players. They are going to be able to drop one. But Dersiak demoted down to the Famous. Those players that save the weapon, so they will be able to buy up pretty solidly. So not all bad, definitely workable, but they are on the back foot in this round. Vexed have got quite a bit of control if they use it properly. There seems to be two strategies in the WEHAWT strat book. It's push up middle and play passive A. It seems pushing up middle works out initially. The 1-for-1 trades gives a lot of control over towards the D side.
They're playing it very differently as well. A lot of the players, Boaster and Dersiak, they're just switching it up every now and then. Dersiak taking control of defending CT or mid and swapping around with Boaster as well, seeing what they can do, play the different play styles, keep the enemies on their toes and thinking. Boaster manages to get a 1-for-1 trade, so definitely coming out on the top there, but it's not that great when you're CTs, and Nico just doesn't spot Aussie through the smoke, and that opens up mid. Dersiak holding tightly in fire, needs to move over. Bomb does go down. Now, will this be another save or retake? Dersiak is in a position to find himself a frag, but unable to do so. The call to run away has happened, but Quicks, he needs to be faster. He's going to come around the corner. He spots Dersiak, just misses the first spray, but finishes him off before he gets around the corner. And it's only going to be Connor, the sole survivor of WEHAWT.
Yeah, not really great, especially when we're coming into the latter stages of this game. They want to be winning these rounds, or at the very least surviving with as many players as possible if they are going to go for the safe play. They're definitely hunting here on the back side, yeah, and he's just not expecting how close they are going to be. They pretty much abandoned that A site 100%. I'm sure we've all seen a few clips on Mirage of ninja diffusers coming in and things when that happens. But
Ninja box, man. Ninja box.
Indeed. Vex fortunately not punished for it. They instead do the punishing. They demolish the economy of WEHAWT coming into round number 26. It's pretty dangerous at the moment for the CT side.
They had the money to do that. They weren't afraid of losing some of those AK-47s and rebuying them, but losing 70% of your HP just a few seconds into the round, that's something you should be afraid of. As Pith, he's going to come around the corner and just misses by a fraction of a second. Nico, but USPs in hand. If you're WEHAWT here, you just want Vex to come up close and personal, but Vanity knows that there's a push happening, and he's going to get both the frags. Dersiak and Boaster balling. And that could open up a charge into a site, as we see the rest of Vex setting up for it. Pith, he's going to lead from Palace as Nico finds Vanity. There's one more there for him to take out. It's going to be Aussie taking down Nico, but Pith finds Connor. And now the site is there. It's Carcass. What can you do with a P250 running through T-spawn?
Pretty sure it's been heard as well from that player that was towards top mid. Please pick up for Whisk. But yeah, you can't really expect too much from WEHAWT there. It's nice that Nico picks up one. That USB can be a bit deadly if you're trained onto the angle. Just the two headshots kind of quickly required, and obviously can be quite hard to react to when someone's on a bit of a headshot angle. They can catch you off guard, but for the most part, clean as you like from Vexed, as they now move into what could be the final few rounds of this game. I feel like if WEHAWT lose this round, pretty much curtains for them, so we'll see. Vex going to go in with another fast execute to try and overwhelm the low utility buy from the CT side. Nico not quite aware of the fact that he does get immediately traded by his teammate, but Quick's just sneaking in, all the carnage going on. Boaster going to try and do the same here as he moves through the smoke. He's heard someone moving behind him. Going to try and find that frag. He does so. There's players all over the place right now. Swaps across the AK and also drops Vanity. It's now into a 1-on-3 for Pith, as he's only on 16 HP. The bomb is planted for him, but very little information to work with, and Carcass easily able to find him on that angle. WEHAWT by themselves. Another opportunity to get back into it, and a bit more time in this game.
1 point away from being match point. Vexed unable to get that round despite being able to get the entry onto a site, and the smokes were just absolutely beautiful, just completely closing off any sort of vision that Boaster had, or who was a player on the stairs? Was
Nico.
Oh, Nico yeah. On the stairs. No vision whatsoever, no help from either from Connector or CT, so the site was all Vexed, and it was their round to lose as they were completely dominating. But Boaster pushing into that smoke, a very ballsy play coming out by him. And who on earth jumped over Nico's head?
I think it was Twix, maybe? I honestly couldn't. There was so many frags coming in, but yeah, Boaster definitely the linchpin in that round for WEHAWT. They really needed someone to perform kind of on an individual level.
A little mirror that was... Wait. Nice molly. Good molly. That's going to slow things down, but a mirror setup that we've seen last round coming in from Vexed. However, there's a bit of a gap in that smoke. Going to re-smoke it. Wisp going to go in, going to get the bomb down. Boaster's going to push out really far. He gets traded up instantly. Vanity, quick on that. Carcass holding CT. Going to get molly, needs to fall back. Wisp just surviving, just inches away from the fire on Firebox. But now this retake is looking very hard to do. If you are WEHAWT, you need to be a bit more aggressive, make those plays. Vanity finds Carcass, Connor trades him up. Quicks finds Connor as well on the return. But Nico, last one remaining, he's just hiding on box. He finds Quicks. 2 left alive. It's Whisk and Pipe. Pith, sorry. The smoke does go out, but the defuse isn't going to come in for him, and the spray straight through the smoke. Whisk going to clear him out, and Vexed, they're at match point.
Yeah. I mean, they almost lose all their players there, but that's a bit of a shame. WEHAWT. The double AWP setup, maybe not the best of ideas. They get everywhere smoked out. You know, it was a little bit, like you say, a mirror, but I think in round number, it would have been 27, Vex left CT open, whereas this time they opted not to do that, so there's smokes everywhere. Boaster pushes through once again, but is a little bit more easily punished. But it's the double AWP setup, like I say, it needs to work in the early round. When it comes into retaking, especially so many nooks and crannies on that A site, it's really, really difficult using those AWPs, you know, up close and personal. It's not the best style, unfortunately, for that weapon. I think it just comes back to haunt WEHAWT going for that double AWP setup. But they didn't necessarily need to, you know, they just made it work with just the one. So a little bit risky, perhaps, and it does not pay off in that situation.
Another scuff by coming in by WEHAWT. Not an ideal scenario you want to be in when you're one mistake away from losing the game and the round. Quicks managing to find the back of Nico. Dersiak just going to sit and hide on Firebox. Might just be able to do it. Might get spotted out by the player running out of Palace. It is Pith. Vanity as well. The bomb's going to go down. He doesn't see the bomb planter, unable to get it, but he does find Pith, and Ozzy finds Dersiak in return for that, but the bomb is down. And it's down to Carcass to get it. 5 HP, AK-47 in hand. You're fighting against Whisk and Ozzy. They're both in the same area. They know exactly where he's coming from. And they're going to take him down. And it's going to be Vexed winning the round. Nice and easy. Well, not that easy. Not that easy. They did pull away towards the end there by damaging the economy by quite a bit. But some excellent, stellar gameplay coming out there by both teams.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a pretty close one. It does always seem to be very, very close matchups on Mirage, like we say. You know, a lot of teams play it, but towards the end, it is kind of that composure of maybe the team unit that jumps ahead just a little bit more. And unfortunately, the way that it had been, back and forth games are great to watch, but not so great to play in because your economy never really stabilizes and the pressure is always on. You know, you've got to play at your best round after round after round after round. And as soon as the economy broke, WEHAWT just never really able to pick it back up, unfortunately.
It's also a matter of fatigue as well. It's draining having to go the full length of the full 30 rounds, and on top of that, if you went to overtime. But knowing that you win a round and you get all hyped up and then losing that advantage straight away kind of is depressing, but doing that time and time again can damage someone mentally. But is a few of the sick kills that we saw by Connor, you know, getting this little, was it a 3K? No. Denied. Just 2 kills right there.
But yeah, a pretty nice game coming in. Mirage, as we expect. A little bit close. Vexed, maybe a bit of work required on their CT side. It wasn't quite as clean as they would like, but the T side, very, very coordinated, and those mix-ups kind of thing, you know, the setups being different in places was very effective.